So many people get overwhelmed when trying to create video content or content for their YouTube channel. And what I want to do in this video is break down exactly how to do it easily without getting overwhelmed, saving a ton of time, and batching your content in a way that's going to make it efficient and help you be more consistent, because we all know consistency is key. And I want to show you how to do that using my simple, proven 7-step process that we're going to walk through step by step. And I'm going to explain exactly how to do each and every one of these steps. What's up? My name is Mike Shard. If you don't know who I am, I train thousands of agents every single year on how to scale their business with social media. And I'm at eXp Realty, and a lot of the agents in our group are crushing it with video because they're all following my simple 7-step process. And what I want to do is walk you through each and every step. And if you do get value from this, all I ask is to smash that subscribe button, give me a like, and drop a comment with your biggest takeaway so that I can get a bit of feedback from you guys as to how you're doing and what you're struggling with. So step number one is identifying buckets of content that you want to do. So to give you some context, if you look at my channel, for example, I do primarily 3 different buckets of content. Number one, modern real estate strategies, which is different social media strategies showing agents how to scale their business using social media and all of the different platforms that are relevant today. Bucket number 2 is traditional real estate strategies, which is different tips, training, tools, coaching, mentorship strategies for real estate agents in general, even if you're not that interested in the modern side of things. And the third bucket is eXp Realty and what our group, the Wolfpack, does differently above and beyond anybody else, so that you can be educated on the life-changing opportunity. So hopefully you don't miss out on it, like many unfortunately are, because they don't have the right education and don't unbiasedly look at the opportunity. So those are my 3 buckets of content. So let's look at a couple of examples of what you might be able to do. You might, if you're a real estate agent as well, have communities, you might have property tours, and you might have buyers and sellers education. So there could be 4 buckets: buyers, sellers, community/city, and then property tours. So those are 4 different buckets that you want to do. So identify the buckets which are going to basically segment your channel into playlists. And this is why you'll see on my channel, as an example, I've got multiple playlists breaking down each of my buckets. So now that we've got the buckets, we understand what we need to fill each of the buckets. So now let's look at the titles. So what I like to do in terms of finding the right titles or the topics that I want to do videos on is a couple different things. So number one is the echo effect. So the echo effect is looking at what do your consumers or clients or customers frequently ask you over and over and over. So for example, if you're a real estate agent, if a lot of people continue to ask you what is the process after you remove conditions until closing, then that's a video you should make. If a lot of people are asking about a certain community, if they're asking when is the best time to sell, if they're asking when is the best time to buy, should you stage your property, how do I go about moving, anything that is related to what people are frequently asking of you, turn that into a video. Now, when we start looking at other things, I like to use keywords everywhere. And this is a great strategy for, again, simply whenever you type in anything related to your niche on Google, it will give you recommendations as to what are the most popular searches. You can also use something like Answer the Public. And this is a great platform as well that will give you examples of what people can be doing. Now, if we look at a couple other ones here, I'm actually going to move these down a bit just to give some more space. But if we look at a couple other examples, number 4 and number 5. Number 4 is other YouTube channels. So looking at, other YouTube channels that are in a similar space to you and filtering by the most popular. And that's going to give you an example of, based on your niche, what's proven to work really well. I do this all the time, and how you can put your own spin on it, make it better, have a better thumbnail, better optimization. R&D, rip off and duplicate. It's as simple as it gets. And then the last one, going with the theme of R&D, is actually looking at articles or blogs, for example, that are already written about your subject. Because again, that basically gives you the script for your video. Obviously put your own flair on it, but it basically gives you the outline of all the bullet points you can talk in your videos, everything. So this is how I find titles for the videos that I want to fill in each of the buckets of what I do content in. Now, when we look at the next part, the bullet points, what I do is I will write out the title, and then I will write out 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And I will write out each of the main bullet points that I want to include in that video. I do not script anything because I think it's inauthentic. I think it makes it way too time consuming, way too difficult, and you're going to find yourself struggling. So we are all talking about things that we're experts at. Otherwise, you should not be talking about it. So whenever, for example, if I was to do this video, you can see literally the blueprint is in front of me. All of the bullet points that I want to talk about in this video. And the title is, again, how to make it easy to record YouTube videos at scale. So write out the bullet points, because what this will allow you to do is do your introduction and then look and say, okay, I've got my screen right here, literally with all my bullet points. And I can say, okay, point number 1, look back at the screen, deliver point number 1. After you finish that, stop, pause for a second, regroup, point number 2. Okay, great, point number 2. And it keeps you on track. Now, the next part is super important, which is batching your content. This is now once you have a number of videos. So for example, I do 8 videos per month, which is 2 per week. And what I'm doing, literally in this studio session as we speak, I'm doing 8 YouTube videos back to back to back to back. And that's gonna be my entire month's worth of content in one session, because I've got all the titles written out, I've got all the bullet points written out, I know the buckets that I'm filling, they're all intentional, and I know exactly what I need to do, what I need to say, and what I'm doing when I'm doing it. So batching your content is extraordinarily important. And the most important thing is, in order to properly batch your content, you need to be prepared, right? And that's what we're doing here, is making sure with all of these other things that we've got going on in terms of this aspect of it, this is all getting prepared ahead of time to make sure that when you start batching your content, you don't have to sit down in your recording session and say, what the heck am I going to talk about? And that's what most people do. And then they block off 3 hours to record videos. They get 2 videos done or 1 video done because they have no idea what they're going to say, no idea what they're going to talk about, and no idea what buckets they're even filling. So they don't even know if there's intent behind it that will actually make a difference in their business. So batching your content is extraordinarily important. Now, when we look at the next aspect of it, it is outsourcing. So this is going to be things like editing your videos and your thumbnails. So you have to think about this for a second. It can cost you anywhere from, $8 to do a thumbnail, and it can cost you maybe $20 to edit your videos. Now, of course, I edited all my videos and did all my thumbnails on Canva myself in 2019 when I first got started. But as soon as you can outsource this stuff, you want to be doing that because if you take an hour to do a thumbnail on Canva yourself, you're essentially valuing yourself at $8 an hour. There's no way you're going to make 6 figures in a year. So think about how you can start to outsource things. I'm going to actually talk to you about something super cool at the end that's related to this. But outsourcing is going to save you more time. Time is money. You want to take that time, invest it back into income producing activities. So instead of, $28 an hour, you can end up putting that time into the things that make you $50 to $100 an hour, which could be prospecting or client nurturing or follow up or anything like that. So the next thing that you want to do once you've got your videos edited and you've got your thumbnails good to go, you want to upload it and you want to optimize the tags, the title, and the description. And what I like to use here is something called vidIQ. I swear by this. I've been using it since day one. I'll put a link in the description and the pinned comment, but this gives you basically the recommended tags to make sure that your videos have an opportunity to rank number 1 whenever you put it out. Because what happens is a lot of agents go through all of this effort, or a lot of entrepreneurs go through all of this effort, and then they get to the point where they put their video up, they don't optimize it, gets like 17 views, and then they just wasted hours of time, attention, energy, and effort, and money, and didn't get any results for it. So you want to make sure, this is so key, you want to make sure that you're optimizing your videos properly so that they actually have an opportunity to do something for your business. And then the last thing that you want to do is you want to repurpose it for things like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and look at what can you do in order to repurpose your videos in order to use it for other platforms so that you can be efficient. Now, if you want to know that extra little thing that I was talking to you about, that I personally use and has made a world of a difference for my business, it is right here, which is high converting content. And that's the company we created, which actually does all of these steps for you. So when you look at, for example, the outsourcing of the editing, the thumbnails, the optimization, the repurposing, everything, we take care of all of that for you. If you've got more flexibility to spend, if you don't, I recommend going on Fiverr, Fiverr. And that's going to be a cheap way to get started. It's what I use in the beginning when you're on a smaller budget. But once you're, at the point where, $1,500 to $2,000 a month doesn't, put a huge dent in your wallet, then that's where people come to us, because it's a more professional, high quality service that we use for a lot of real estate brokerages, teams, top producers, entrepreneurs from all different industries, and YouTubers. So if you want us to take care of absolutely everything for you, we can do that. Otherwise, I recommend, again, getting started with what you can do, which is Fiverr. Super cheap. $8 thumbnail, $20 out of your video, and you're done. But this is the process that I follow for every single time I record videos. It makes it super easy. I record once a month. All of my videos for the month are done in one session, just like I'm doing now. And now I never have to worry about it again. Whereas a lot of people get so overwhelmed because they don't know what they're going to say, don't know what they're going to do, don't know when they're going to do it. And also making sure that when you're batching your content, as we can see here, it is a non-negotiable in your schedule. You have to put this in your schedule. You can't be booking meetings over top of it, because this is a form of prospecting or building your business that is going to make a massive difference, because it's completely changed my life and I wanted to change yours. So if you have any other questions, again, feel free to drop a comment below. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.